Hey everybody, it's Russ coming at you right here from the parking lot of Big Lots. That's right. I don't know where my viewfinder's at, so I'm looking around. Just I like to see just how many angles I can get with my pitted, potted face. All right, it's someplace in there. So we are here back at the Heart of Haunts podcast, volume 4, and we are with a special guest. We have Holly here too, but Holly's out getting me something to drink, being so kind as that. We appreciate that. And we're here with the person, the guest we had last week, which was Marissa Phillips, all the way from Colorado. Now, if you would think Marissa would at least have given the courtesy of changing her clothes and having a different outfit on, but no, she's wearing the same outfit as she wore last week. It's hard for me to fathom that, because clearly the shirt I have on is much different than I had on last week, much brighter. So, but I'm not saying anything about that, Marissa. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome part 2 of the interview with Marissa Phillips, the only woman who's been through McKamey Manor 4 times. Yay! Round of applause. Da, 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 da. How you doing, Marissa?
Great. How are you doing, Russ?
I'm doing just fine. You know what? It's funny. It seems like seemed like we were just talking just a short time ago. Time flies,
yeah, it
doesn't
does seem like that. Can you believe it's been a whole week?
I can't believe it's been a whole week, because it just seems like it was only like 30 seconds ago. I don't understand how this works. This is amazing. Wow. It's just, I don't get it. So, well, thank you for coming on board one more time with Heart of Hearts. And I'm sure we'll have you on as a guest more than just now. Is my light too bright here? I got my little headlight. You know the little light I wear on my head all the time? Because it makes me so charming looking, doesn't it? When I wear that light, is it too bright?
It's not so charming from the other side, actually.
I don't know what that means. I think you're saying it doesn't look good on me. I think you're saying, I don't know what you're saying, but I don't understand.
I don't like seeing it on your head. It makes me nervous.
Oh, because it makes you nervous. I see what you're saying. Here we go. There, that's a little less light. There we go. Am I attractive now? Hey, everybody. Yeah, hey, that's Russ. Okay. That's about as charming as I get. Isn't it nice? Oh, and I got this flicker. It's hard to imagine why women don't come on to me, right? It's hard to imagine that, right?
It's so hard to imagine.
Can you believe it? Because someone as charming as me, and that move there, hey, hi there. I mean, who wouldn't want that guy, right? It's amazing.
Exactly.
All right. I don't get it. I don't understand what the problem is. All right, so back to our story. We're with Marissa Phillips, the only woman ever who has conquered the manor, taken it on 4 times, which is crazy. And on this section of the interview, I want to find out about what makes Marissa tick. So I'm just going to shut up a little while, which I know is hard to imagine me shutting up, right? But I'm going to try to stay quiet and let Marissa talk about what got her involved with the manor, what got her involved with all this crazy stuff. What's her deal? What's her scoop? Because I really don't know. So, Marissa, take it away.
All right. I'm not quite as talkative as you are, but I'll do my best. So I found McKamey Manor. I was doing research for one of my computer science classes, and I started researching the deep web, and I found this YouTuber who did like this deep web series. And one of the stories featured McKamey Manor, which of course I looked into and realized, oh wow, this is a real thing I can actually do. And then I started watching all the movies. To be fair, I don't think McKamey Manor is actually on the deep web. So I failed that part of my project, but I don't think I tested it out. At that time, because I was in these computer science classes, I was kind of paranoid about my identity too. So I was under a fake name. I kept my profile pretty private. But I went ahead and tried to join the group and called Russ and tried to set everything up. That's after, because I read what the website required. I got my medical note right away. I got my background check right away. I made sure I could pass the drug test right away. I got everything set up before I even bothered Russ. Of course, I sign up, and everybody thinks I'm a mole because I have this fake name, and I just change it so I can join the group. It's really awkward talking about this. Why would I sign up for this? And the movies were way too cool. And when, as a viewer, especially as a new viewer, you go in and you watch these movies, and you're like,
hold on. Say it again. Why you sign up? You started cutting out. I want to hear that myself. Why you signed up?
Because I had to do it. I'm competitive. I had to win. Like, as an audience member, when you're watching the movies, like, you're like, this is so intense. But then you think, but I could do that better. But I could have survived that. But I would have played it differently. But I could do this without ruining my reputation. And then you got to prove it. And so I saw the movies. I thought they were great. I loved everybody who I saw in them. But I wanted to one-up them. I'm just competitive. I'm really competitive. Little did I know. I mean, this happens as you age, as you gain more wisdom. Really takes less than one tour through McKamey Manor to realize that all of your hopeful, bright-eyed dreams about how you perform the manor never really come to fruition. But you can do better than the next person.
Right. Now, we've had several versions of the manor. The first one was McKamey Manor. Now, you didn't go through the first version, so you missed that one. You missed, I'd say, the one with all the animatronics. You missed the real, not the real one, but you missed the lighter version, but the one that had all the bells and whistles, all the, $1 million worth of stuff in there, all the variety of rooms. You missed the one that was the most true to a haunted house, I would say.
I would give to go through that. You have no idea.
Yeah, that was cool. I wish I had all that stuff back. I'd be able to rebuild, but you have to overcome and adapt, and then you have to you gotta just move on and try to reinvent yourself. And I'm good at reinventing the manor. There's several times when you had me counted out when I was like, what? She thinks I'm not gonna continue? She thinks we're done? Are you kidding me? She doesn't know me at all.
Since we're having an honest conversation, I have to say, the only reason I did Extinction, because originally I really only was going to do it once and then be done with it. But I signed up for Extinction because I legitimately thought you were over. And I was like, well, shoot, if this is going to be the end of Russ McKamey, I want to see that last chapter. I've got to be there. I've got to be there for when this ends because this is too cool. I was wrong about that, wasn't I?
Yeah, how'd that work out for you? That's what I like,
That was my second tour. I've done 4, so that should speak for itself.
So your first tour was the Chamber.
And that was already, one of your first reinventions.
Yeah. And the Chamber's funny because it gets a bad rep because everybody calls it the van tour, and that's all it was with the van. There was nothing else but a van. But that's not true. For people who actually got far enough, then you would have saw more, and you would have actually, continued on with the Chamber tour, not in a van. But
I mean, I'm split about that one because on one hand, there's definitely more than the van, and I think it's really flippant of people to say that it's just the van. There is much more than the van, and what's beyond the van is crazy. It's intense. It's amazingly built. On the other hand, you can run a hell of a show in just a van. So even if it was just the van, it would be the scariest haunted house in the world.
Yeah, no, I agree. I thought, I thought the van was cool, but it really was just a catalyst to get you to...
Hey now. Don't dream it's over. Hey now, the dream is over. Russ McKamey is back for the attack.
I don't know what she's doing. I have to live with
I
this.
know that song. That was the song I was assigned for my second tour.
Was it really? Oh, that's
yeah.
funny.
Don't dream it's over.
That's cute. So yeah, the van got a bad rap because they thought that was I had nothing else, and they thought that's all it was, and that wasn't true at all. We had a full show after the van, but most people just didn't make it through the van, and if you don't make it, you don't make it. I'm not going to continue on with you. And so, you got through a little bit. We took you outside of the van. Well, tell your story. You tell it in your little words. What happened with you at your chamber tour?
Man, I'm not sure. I mean, it was so constant and intense, and like somebody was always shoving me, pushing me. It was just constant. I was amazed when I heard that I made it out of the van. I heard some whispering around, but I guess at some point the SDSU crew for the documentary was told to leave. And at some point I was told I could finally leave the van. I didn't really believe it until I felt that I was going down and I felt concrete. Gosh,
right, because
it was just all so hard.
Because for your tour, there was the San Diego State University doing a documentary, and so they can find that video online. I think it's under what? What's it under? I think it's under SDSU documentary or something. But for you folks that want to see Marissa on that tour, I think they entitled it "I Might Die Here" or something. It's a great title. But so that's a quick little look at Marissa's chamber tour. Now, I haven't released that movie yet, Marissa, so that's another full 5-hour movie that will be coming out about you one day. But I'm not that'll be a while before I release that or even start working on that, because I want to do some of the newer stuff at Resurrection. So, and I haven't started any Resurrection tour yet.
It is worth mentioning. So that was my very first tour, and I think time-wise that was my best tour at 1 hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, no, you held the record until
for a little while.
For a little while, until my best good buddy Laura Brotherton beat it by 5 minutes, right? And she's just a peach. Laura's a peach, and so there's a big old story with Laura Brotherton. I should get her on here sometime. But actually, you'll hear and see Laura Brotherton in the Extinction movie, which is kind of fun. So enjoy that one. And quit telling Dustin everything. I know you tell Dustin everything. I know you tell Dustin all kinds of stuff. So you knock it off.
What you don't know is that I record all my phone calls, and I have all the data. I have the truth. Just like you video everything. I record all my phone calls. I don't feel ashamed. I didn't tell him anything.
Yeah, I don't care if you did anyways. You and Dustin are good buddies. I know that. And then what happens? And then what happens that Dustin then runs to Laura, and then Laura runs to other people, and she's like crying like, why is Russ using me in the new Extinction movie? I just think it's the funniest thing ever. I love it.
I've got to talk about this. So, I've been kind of like a weird outcast my entire life. I feel like I never fit in. I feel like I can never make friends. And so, one of my motivations for getting involved in this was to finally fit in with a group of people just as weird as me. But I still don't fit in. All this drama, all the people, I can't even, it's so annoying to me. It's so mundane to me. I don't know why. I don't understand people. I'm still the weird outcast. But now I'm the weird outcast that everyone's talking about. And I hate it. I just want to be friends.
Nah, man. All these haters.
Why can't we be friends?
Oh, God, here she goes
Why
again.
can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends?
Thank you there. So
I
Now,
think I'd like to.
oh my God! Now she's going. Are you done yet?
I think I'd like to be president. Why can't we be?
All right. So anywho, no, you gotta love these freaking little dumb haters and stuff. And but you bring it on because you talk to Dustin and you do all that stuff. And Dustin is a creep, man. He is a creepola boy. So you choose your friends wisely. Choose your friends wisely.
I think it's really funny, and I kind of enjoy the role on a certain point where you're convinced I'm a hater, and then the haters are convinced that I'm like this diehard fan where I know everything you're doing, and neither of them are true. Really, ever since I started seeing that the McKamey Manor fan base was dividing, I wanted to do what I could to keep it together. And I guess when you're dealing with really wild and eccentric and unusual personalities, there is no keeping it together. And if you attempt to, you will you'll fail and lose and feel horrible.
Yeah, it's got to roll with it. But I'm not telling you my secrets anymore, blabbermouth. You got a blabbermouth. You got this girl here. Just a heads up, we love Marissa, but if you have any secrets, don't tell Marissa, because Marissa will go out there and blab them to everybody. Yeah. Don't be nodding your head. I can hear the marbles in there right now. Don't you even try it. But that's okay.
I record all of my phone conversations. I have the evidence. I have the truth. I'm not worried about it. Yeah, okay. All right.
It's all right.
It's because I love the fans. It's because I love the fans.
Yeah,
and there is something worthwhile saying about the haters. To their credit, they are so dedicated. They are more interested in what you do than I am. That's for sure. And so they're really like the heart of your fan base.
I know they are, right? They're the most. I love the haters. That's what they don't understand. They think that they're bothering me, and like it's like if they ever stop, that'd be the worst thing ever, right? If they ever quit doing what they do and calling the police and calling people's work and trying. If they stop doing that, what a bummer that would be. That's half the fun of it, right?
And really, it wasn't one of your major haters, but it was because one of your haters made a movie on YouTube that I found you, and I've gone through what I have.
I know. It's too funny, man. So, yeah, I got to, bravo to the crazy haters because they're so flippin' entertaining to me in those pages they make. There's a good one. If you haven't gone to the one in Summertown, you need to check out the one here locally. What's it called? Say No to Torture.
Because I hate Russ McKamey.
Yeah, no, it says Say No to Torture in Summertown. If you haven't looked at that one, sports fans, look at that one. That's so flippin' funny. That's a local homegrown hate page out here where I live. It's just hilarious.
That's a worthwhile thing to talk about, though, is McKamey Manor torture. And so as far as I'm concerned, I consented to this. I wanted it. To me, it's been great enough to even come back. Torture then kind of becomes sort of a subjective term because, what's a fun weekend for me is torture to somebody else. And it's not your fault if they sign up for it.
Of course it's torture. What are you talking about? Don't ruin my reputation.
Oh, of course. Right. It's torture. It's terrible.
Don't listen to them. Don't listen. Look, everybody out there, pay attention. Listen to me. That's torture. Everything I do is torture. I will torture you. I will torture you till you're dead. I will bury you in the back. You'll become part of McKamey Manor. I will take you out. You will never know what happened to you. I'm coming for you. It's torture. So that's what you need to be telling everybody. Don't be making it sound like it's not torture. Don't be telling people I'm a nice guy. It's torture. So I'm on the wrong page. I don't know where the microphone is at, where the camera, but So were you ever, that's a good point though, in all seriousness or whatever, but people do say that we're torturing. And I always tell them that, well, let's put your logic cap on. If is torture illegal? Torture would be illegal. And so if we, after all these years, were really torturing people, and clearly the police, law enforcement know everything that we do because they follow it all, just like everybody else does, would we really be allowed to be running a show if we were torturing people? And I know that's hard to wrap your head around if you don't use your little logic cap, but what do you think about that there, Miss Marissa?
I love you, Russ, and all those points are correct and fair, but that's also the same spiel I've heard you say before. This really, in my opinion, so I'm not speaking for McKamey Manor, but in my opinion, it's about what you consent to. If you consent to something that's torture, then guess what? It's not torture anymore. And I like to treat individual people like they are smart enough to agree to the things they do. And especially, ever since I've been taking these tours, there's always been a safe word. If there's a safe word, I just can't even wrap my mind around the idea that there's a safe word, but it's still torture. I don't think that's possible. Look, McKamey Manor is to explore the extremes of what people can do and what haunts can be. And if you aren't down for the extreme, if you aren't willing to walk that line, then don't do it. I could never. If anybody actually tried to make a legal suit against you, they'd have no chance. They adamantly agree to this and go out of their way to do this. And they know, like you even put all these movies out. They know what they're signing up for. I can't believe anyone would call this torture. It's just naive little people in their tiny little hug boxes.
Well, what they say is that you can't consent to torture. So they're saying that even though you said...
Don't tell me what I can consent to.
I know, exactly. But they're saying that Marissa cannot tell the authorities what she actually is consenting to. If it's torture, no matter if she agrees to it or not. But that's their take on it. We all know that's their little call, right?
I guess that's what the haters say. Just me as a person, even if I hated what you did, even if I thought you went way over the line, I would never take you to court because I know what I signed up for. Anybody who, that waiver is intense. It's detailed. You could have gone much harder and much further with the show, really, considering what I agreed to. And I had a safe word the whole time. Just pisses me off. And the only argument that they have that I can't consent to to what I do would be mental illness. And who the hell are you to judge what's in my head? Everyone's crazy.
Yep. So people think that you're not being told everything as well. When you sign that 3 to 4 hour waiver, tell the folks, do you know everything that's going to come online? Do I tell everything to you? Or am I hiding things from you that could cause you big issues?
Everything that's in the waiver, it covers what will actually physically happen to you. That being said, outside of the waiver, what Russ tells you, I'm talking to you, Russ, what Russ tells you, take it with a grain of salt. But, I gotta say, I don't want to reveal exactly what happened, but I think every single tour, but especially my first one, somebody pulled the wool over my eyes. Somebody pulled some kind of really clever trick on me. My third tour, when I got my head shaved, everyone was telling me, you're not going to get your hair cut. Don't worry about it. It was a lie. I believed it. I bought into it. But those kind of games make it really fun. It's really, to me, those things are special.
Yep. We don't want you to know what's smoke and mirrors and what's reality. We want to keep you on your toes, and that's our job, right? Our job is to entertain you. I am solely an entertainer, and my job is to give you an experience that is new and unique, something that nobody else does, and give you something that you'll look back on forever and ever and think that was the coolest thing I ever did, right? That's what it's all about.
This really has been the coolest thing I've ever done. I mean, anybody I tell is just amazed and floored and doesn't know what to even think of it or think of me. It's crazy. Thank you, Russ.
Oh, no, you've been super duper. You know, that's why I said before on the other podcast, you're like our favorite little movie person because you make me really good films, and it's all about the movie in my case. And the Extinction movie is like my favorite because it's just so personalized. And I know you haven't seen it yet, and hopefully you'll see it before it gets pulled. But did you ever watch, speaking of movies, did you watch The Haunters, the Art of the Scare movie? No.
Sorry, I haven't gotten to it yet.
So all you folks out there, there's a new feature film. It's called Haunters, the Art of the Scare. And it's about me and a couple of other people and several other, you know, Disney, not Disney, but Not Scary Farm and Universal. And it's just about, it's a really creative, unique look at haunting. And now with, you know, the way things are now, you got the extreme stuff. And so I'm kind of the granddaddy of the extreme stuff. So we had to be in there. But it's a really good movie besides the fact that little old Russ is in there. It's entertaining. It's heartfelt. So I recommend, if you guys are interested in haunted houses, the history of them, check out Haunters, the Art of the Scare. You can buy it on Blu-ray or it's on Amazon. You can stream it, you know. But it's a good movie, and you'll learn a lot. And you'll either like me more or you'll hate me more, you know. I knew where the director was going with it. I could tell. You know, I was there being filmed for a year. So I kind of knew the take, and that's all fine. Every movie needs a villain, right? Every movie has to have the bad guy. So, and I'll play that role. I'll play the role of Hans or Franz from the Die Hard movies, whatever. You know, I'll be that guy. But I recommend it, and I think you'll be happy that you saw it. So, Marissa, that's your job. Go out there and watch that movie. I want to know what you think about it.
Aye, Captain.
So where are you heading off to this week? Are you doing any more haunted house reviews?
I'm going to be going back to Denver. One of my favorite haunted houses is doing a Blackout Experience, and so I'm going to be attending that. And then, to me, this barely counts, but since it's actually Halloween weekend, I'm going to go trick-or-treating with my kiddos. We're gonna hit up the Broadmoor area in Colorado Springs, and I'm gonna make them trick or treat until their feet are bleeding. I don't care. We're gonna trick or treat, damn it.
Sweet. That's gonna be a cool deal. Now, is this Blackout like Blackout? Is it gonna be an adult themed haunt, or is this gonna be just a little extra scary?
I don't really know. I know the age requirement is 16 and up, so it's probably not gonna be too extreme.
No, too bad.
We'll see. I will say, you know, I think it's time that I talk about, I have had some negative side effects from doing the tours.
Okay.
One of them is, you remember that mouth guard you put in me for Extinction?
Yeah.
My stepkids were really excited. They brought home this board game. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll play a board game with you. Guess what board game it was? It was that Speak Up board game with those mouthpieces. And, you know, I like to think I have pretty thick skin, but I had such a strong aversion. Like, I couldn't see those kids in the mouth guards. It hurt me. It bothered me too much. I had to back out from the game. I feel guilty about it.
Wow. So you feel guilty about what? Backing out of the game or feeling funky about the mouth guard?
All of it. Well, mostly because I backed out of the game. I wish that I had just been strong enough and I had just done it anyway, but that mouth guard got to me.
That's interesting.
Actually, let me see. So I have a memorabilia box of my McKamey Manor stuff. Let me see if I have that mouth guard. I haven't opened this up in a long time.
Oh, nice.
the other thing is, you know, I've done 4 haunts in 1 year. So every 3 months I start craving to do the haunt again. So my fiance's been telling me that I've been grinding my teeth in my sleep, and I've been having these really vivid, really bad, scary nightmares. And they're all very McKamey Manor-ish.
Sorry about that. That's crazy.
And yours.
You got your mouth guard there? Let's see it.
Yeah. Here we go.
All right, put it in. Put it in.
Are you serious?
Put it in,
really
of course.
Don't want to.
I don't care if you want to or not. Put it in. There it is.
I haven't even cleaned it. I haven't even cleaned it since my last tour, Russ.
You know what? Just Marissa, hold on to that thought. We are actually out of time, but we're gonna hold you over for another volume with Miss Marissa Phillips. We're gonna talk about the future of what we have in store for Marissa, and we haven't touched about the other haunts that Kata Silvas was involved with, that we were involved with as well. And so we have a lot more to talk about with Marissa. Again, she is like my superstar. And so for right now, Marissa, we're going to say goodbye to you, but we're going to see you in an upcoming episode. Are you game for that?
Yeah, I guess I'll have to just keep wearing this shirt until next week.
Yeah, I was going to say, the next time we do this, I'm going to wear the same shirt, and I want you to wear the same shirt too, okay?
I got you. Yeah.
All right.
Wear the same outfit.
So for Holly Bobali, there she is, my little lioness.
She's a very kinky girl.
Yeah.
The kind you don't take home to mother.
So from this wild one,
that girl's all
and Marissa,
right.
this is
She's a
Russ
super freak.
signing out, saying goodbye from McKamey Manor, heart of haunts. Adios. See you on the flip side.